Guys and girls, you need to be investing in Willie Mays. I'm going to tell you why and show you how. Stick around. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Matt Powers of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. Thank you again for joining me. If you can, please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com, or give me a follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. So, Willie Mays is an athlete that pretty much all of us have heard of, unless you're like that Geico person, you've been living under a rock for a while. But Willie Mays, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Let's talk a little bit about why you should be investing in Willie Mays, and then we will talk a little bit about how to go ahead and invest in Willie Mays, okay? Let's start off with why you should invest. Let me read some statistics to you real quick here on Mr. Mays. Of course, he's a Baseball Hall of Famer, two-time MVP. Get this one, a 24-time All-Star. That's pretty much like every season he played, he was an All-Star. You're not going to see that anymore with any players right now. It's just there's just too much competitiveness going on. You're just not going to see the quality player that Mays was that's going to be doing this again. It's just incredible. World Series champion and a 12-time Gold Glover, so he can hit and he could also play defense too. Another good reason to invest in Mays is he is actually, in my opinion, a fairly affordable autograph right now. You get guys like Mickey Mantle who are, $600-700 for a quality baseball. Jerseys and bats are way above that. So for Mays right now, I think he's a very, very affordable autograph. And another reason to be investing in Mays, and this is just part of life and part of sports and part of collecting autographs, is the man is 89 years old right now, okay? And it's just the way things go in our industry. It's not something a lot of people like to talk about, but guys don't sign autographs forever. And Mays hasn't been signing autographs for quite a few years now. So there's a very, very limited supply out there of good quality and authentic autographs, okay? So now that you decided that, hey, Mays is someone I want to have in my collection, I want to get his autograph, what should I get? Now, there's some things that we need to talk about here when it comes to Willie Mays, and really this comes with every athlete here, is we want to talk about authenticity, okay? If you're unfamiliar with Willie Mays, there's a lot of autographs out there that have this quote-unquote say hey hologram on there. You'll see these all over the place, cheap autographs, and you're thinking, wow, that's a great deal. It comes with his authenticity hologram on there. I'm going to pick that up. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, stay away from any item that has the say hey hologram. Now, there are some that are good and there are some that are bad, but from my research for this video, the ones that are currently out there, majority of them are very, very bad, okay? They all look exactly the same. These are not authentic. You'll see this little say hey hologram in the corner of the photo, or if it's on a baseball, it'll be on the back of the baseball, okay? Do yourself a favor, stay away from these guys, okay? Even if it's, there are some that are third-party authenticated too that are kind of on the borderline and fence with these things with the say hey hologram. So in just my opinion, I personally would stay away from those type of authentication for Willie Mays, okay? So getting something that has, without the say hey hologram, that is PSA authenticated or JSA authenticated or Beckett authenticated without that say hey hologram is a pretty good bet. So now when you're looking at Mays, there's a couple things to look at when you're looking at his autograph. And those say hey holograms, if you see them online there, you will see that they are pretty much essentially the exact same signature all over the place, okay? It's like they were signed almost yesterday, okay? You'll see baseballs too with that say hey hologram. Pretty much any Mays item with an inscription, like his Hall of Fame year or 660 home runs, pretty much just throw that away, okay? That's not real. It looks, some of them look like they were just signed yesterday, like they're bold and blue and like perfect, and you're like, what the heck? Mays hasn't signed consistently in probably 15, 20 years. We did a signing with him probably back when I was with another company, probably back in the mid-2000s, so 2007, 2008, and that was 12, 13 years ago, and, that was probably, I think he did one back in New York a couple years later after that, but that's pretty much been it. So there's not a lot of quality stuff out there. So if you see something that's got big, bold signature on there, probably time to run away on that one, okay? So what you want to look for is there's a style of Willie Mays autograph that has a lot of flair to it. He really tends to write that way. So when you see those say hey stuff, it's really stacked together and it almost looks like everything is perfectly spaced. That's not a signature that you want. You want one with a lot of flair, a lot of height to it sometimes, especially on that M. So you'll see what I'm talking about when you start looking for some of these Mays autographs there. So again, stay away from those puppies there, okay? So now that we've talked a little bit about authenticity and what to look for, let's talk a little bit more of the fun stuff here. Like, what do you get on Mays? My personal preference here is go with the autographed baseballs. There are some really nice ones that are still available that, you're going to have some balls that are going to have some toning and some staining just because they were signed so long ago with Mays. So that's to be expected. But right now, you can get a nice baseball for about $150, $160. So for me, for a Hall of Famer, getting an authentic autograph on the most collected item for baseball players, which are autographed baseballs, that's a steal right there. I'd be picking those up left and right if I could. So, I would definitely do that for your collection, getting a autographed Willie Mays baseball. Second thing is getting photos. Now, Mays, of course, had the most famous, I say probably one of the most famous plays of all time, certainly one of the most famous baseball plays of all time with the catch. Now, again, these are all over the place with the Say Hey hologram on there. Stay away from those. There are, last research I did here, there was one out there that I thought was legitimate. Actually, I know this one's legit, 100%. That's $400 there for an 8x10, okay? So these photos are getting really, really pricey. And if you see one that you like that's authentic, I would definitely probably pick it up because these are authentic ones are not going to be easy to find. Bats are another one that are semi-affordable, probably in the $400 to $500 range, depending on which type of bat you're looking for. They can be more expensive than that. Bats they're just not my thing. I know a lot of guys like them, but they just take up too much space for me, so not my cup of tea when it comes to baseball collectibles. The last piece is a jersey. Those are right about $1,500 plus right now. Just make sure that you are getting an officially licensed jersey. Getting that China stuff or the custom stuff. The custom stuff being that it's not officially licensed and it just says like San Francisco on the front or something like that. So it's not like it's a Majestic jersey or like a throwback jersey. You don't want to do those. In my personal preference, you're getting Willie Mays, an iconic guy. Get a real jersey, okay? Get a real authentic jersey. You're spending a good amount of money on it. Get a nice quality jersey. These, again, you will see the Say Hey hologram everywhere on these, okay? And cheap too. So that's the big red flag, okay? Don't do that. Look for that nice big flare autograph on that instead of that short little blocky one. In my opinion, those ones are no good, and I would stick with a nice flare one. So those are the items I would get from Mays. There's some other really cool Mays photos out there. Don't sleep on those. The ones outside of the catch. There's some really iconic ones out there. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled for those. And those ones actually tend to be probably more authentic than the catch one because everybody wants the catch one, but they forget about these other cool iconic images of Mays. So something to keep in mind when you're out there looking for Mays and adding him to your collection. You got questions on Mays or any other type of stuff that I talked about today? Again, reach out to me. You guys can visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. And then again, give me a follow over there on Instagram. That's where I post pretty much all the autograph signings and all the daily deals that I kind of do and new videos like this as well. So that's at Powers Autographs. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next one.